Imagine, just for a moment, that you wake to find the world you knew had never existed at all. The streets you walked, the voices that comforted you, the sunlight that warmed your skin, all of it, a fleeting whisper in the vast, unknowable depths of a dream. And yet, you do not wake. You simply drift, caught in a delicate balance between belief and uncertainty. If consciousness is the sole lens through which we experience reality, how can we ever be sure that what we call existence is not, in truth, a dream itself? Everything we perceive is filtered through our senses. Light enters our eyes, sound trembles through the air, touch hums against our skin. These signals travel, like faint echoes, through the labyrinth of our nervous system, where the brain interprets them, deciphers them, transforms them into the world we take for granted. But a dream works the same way. In sleep, the mind constructs entire landscapes from fragments of memory, emotion, and thought. You can see, hear, and feel just as vividly as you do in waking life, and yet, none of it is real. So what, then, is the difference? Philosophers have wrestled with this question for centuries. Plato spoke of a world beyond our senses, an unseen realm of perfect forms. Descartes, uncertain of everything, held only one truth: I think, therefore I am. More recently, physicists have begun to suggest that reality itself may be more illusory than we have dared to believe. Some propose that the universe behaves not like a solid, immutable structure, but like a simulation governed not by objects, but by mathematical patterns. If space and time are merely constructs, then what we call reality would be nothing more than an intricate illusion. Consider the nature of dreams. When you dream, you accept impossible things without question. You might find yourself in a place you've never been, yet somehow know it well. You might see a stranger's face and feel, with certainty, that you have known them all your life. Your mind stitches together a seamless world, filling in the gaps before you even notice they exist. And in that moment, it is real. Only upon waking do you see it for what it was: a fabrication, dissolving at the edges, already slipping away. But what if you never wake? Some have likened lucid dreaming to a revelation, an awareness that one is dreaming, a realization that the rules can be bent, reshaped, rewritten. In a lucid dream, gravity may loosen its grip, time may unravel. With mere intention, you may step through walls, summon forgotten places, rewrite the script of reality itself. And so we ask, if the universe is a dream, are we merely dreamers unaware? Time, too, is an enigma. In dreams, hours pass in moments, yet feel endless. Neuroscientists tell us that time is not fixed, but fluid, shaped by the mind's perception. A single night's dream can hold an entire lifetime within it. And if time bends so easily in dreams, can we be certain it does not do the same in waking life? If our perception of time is an illusion, what does that say about the nature of our existence? Even in the world of physics, reality wavers. At its smallest scales, the universe behaves strangely. Particles exist in multiple states at once until they are observed, as if reality, uncertain of itself, waits for a witness to take form. A dream behaves the same way. Turn away, and the background shifts. Focus on something new, and it solidifies, as though it had been there all along. Ancient traditions have long whispered that reality is not what it seems. The Hindu concept of Maya speaks of a world woven from illusion. Buddhist teachings suggest the self itself is not fixed, but a fleeting ripple on the surface of something greater. Even in the West, poets and philosophers have likened life to a dreamish shifting mirage that vanishes the moment we reach for it. Now, truly imagine waking into another existence entirely. No memory of this life remains, no trace of the world you once knew. In that moment, how would you know which reality was real? You wouldn't. And so we return to the question that lingers like a shadow at the edge of thought. If a dream can feel real, then what proof do we have that waking life is anything more than a dream we have yet to awaken from? Some report fleeting moments of unreality, a sudden, inexplicable sense that the world is a mere illusion, like a scene on a stage, a backdrop that might peel away at any moment. If reality is truly solid, then why does it sometimes waver? Even memory, the fragile thread that ties us to our past, is unreliable. In dreams, you accept the impossible without hesitation because your mind fills in the gaps. You know exactly where you are even if you have never been there before. You recognize faces you have never seen. You trust memories that were never truly yours. But if waking life operates the same way, if our brains construct a seamless story from fragmented pieces, how much of what we remember is real, and how much is merely the mind weaving sense out of the unknown? If the universe is a dream, then who, or what, is the dreamer? Some would say it is you, others, that it is something far beyond our understanding of vast consciousness, dreaming itself into existence. If all that we know is but a dream, then awakening may not be what we imagine, and perhaps, if we ever did wake, we might not recognize what we find, but would we even want to? The thought is unsettling, yet strangely comforting. If existence is a dream, then perhaps it is not as rigid as we believe. Perhaps we are not merely passive observers, but active participants, shaping the dream when we move through it, bending its laws in ways we do not yet understand. In the end, whether the universe is a dream or not may not change the rhythm of our lives. We will still wake each morning. We will still laugh, grieve, love, and wonder. But the possibility that life is not as solid as we assume invites us to look closer, to question more deeply, to see the world with fresh eyes, and if nothing else, it makes the ordinary feel extraordinary, and that, in itself, is worth pondering. There is a puzzle, an endless one, scattered in fragments across the years. Some pieces fit together so effortlessly that they feel inevitable edges clicking into place with the quiet certainty of things meant to be. Others defy logic. They appear inexplicable, as if borrowed from a different puzzle altogether. From the moment life begins, the gathering starts. A child does not choose the first pieces. They are placed gently, wordlessly, by hands that came before. A mother's lullaby, the weight of a father's gaze, the rhythm of mornings and the hush of nights, these, the earliest pieces, form the foundation, and yet, the child does not yet know what image they are constructing. Time drifts forward, and with it, more pieces arrive. Schoolyards hum with laughter and quiet cruelty. A teacher's voice lingers long after the lesson ends. A friend, a stranger, a fleeting moment of kindness, each one, a new fragment of the ever-growing picture. Some fit easily, clicking into place as if they had always belonged. A talent for numbers, a love for stories, a deep-seated certainty about right and wrong. Others, though, remain stubborn, refusing to align, no matter how hard one tries to make them fit. Then comes adolescence, and with it, the rearranging. The picture once so simple becomes a shifting thing, uncertain and blurred. The solid ground of childhood softens underfoot, and questions rise like mist. Who am I? Who should I be? Friendships that once felt unshakable begin to fracture, leaving jagged edges where once there was warmth. The pieces of identity once so sure begin to scatter, some lost, some reshaped, some abandoned altogether. Adulthood brings even greater complexity. Careers, love, ambition, regret, all new fragments, waiting to be placed. Some find their path early, the picture revealing itself in clear, sharp lines. Others wander, trying piece after piece, searching for one that will finally make sense. Mistakes are inevitable. A wrong choice, a misplaced trust, a path taken too soon or too late, each one may feel like a misstep, a piece that doesn't belong. But even these wrong pieces have their purpose. A failed job teaches resilience. A love lost teaches what love should be. And still, the puzzle shifts. What once seemed essential may fade into the background, edges worn down by time. The need for approval, the fear of failure, the certainty of youth, all may be softened, reshaped by experience. The picture is never still. It expands, reshapes, reforms with every passing moment. Other people, too, leave their mark. A mentor places a piece of wisdom where there was once only uncertainty. A friend's laughter fills an empty space. Even pain, even betrayal, carves its own strange place in the pattern, altering the picture in ways unforeseen. And then, the unexpected, a sudden loss, a chance encounter, an opportunity that wasn't part of the plan. The puzzle bends and twists, its form unsteady, its meaning shifting. What was once clear becomes uncertain, and what was uncertain, in time, may reveal itself. Even in the final years, the search is never complete. New pieces emerge, a forgotten passion rekindled, an old friend rediscovered, a belief once held tightly now let go. The puzzle is never finished, not really. Some pieces will always be missing, their absence as much a part of the design as those that remain. Perhaps that is the point. Perhaps it is not about finishing the puzzle, but simply continuing to seek, to wonder, to place each piece as it comes until, at last, there is no more time to search. And even then, perhaps the picture is not meant to be fully seen. Not yet, not here. The illusion of control. They say time is ours to command. We mark it, track it, divide it into neat compartments. The clock ticks forward, the calendar turns, and the days follow one another in perfect succession. The work week has its rhythm, the months fall into place, and the years pile up like stones in a river, each one adding to the current of life. And yet, does time belong to us, or do we belong to it? A person wakes at the sound of an alarm. The morning begins not when the body is ready, but when the clock demands it. The workday starts at its appointed hour, ends when it must. School bells ring, schedules fill, and moments are assigned their place. Everything runs on time, and yet, time itself remains unmoved. It does not pause for exhaustion or race ahead for anticipation. It is steady, indifferent, neither hurried nor delayed by the urgency of human lives. A child sees time differently. A summer stretches endlessly. An afternoon in the classroom is an eternity. Yet an adult blinks and wonders where the year has gone. The same seconds pass, unchanging, yet they are not felt the same. Stress bends time, makes it expand, makes it slip away. The waiting is unbearable. The deadline disappears in an instant. A firefighter in a burning building has only seconds to act, yet those seconds stretch, slow, deepen. A driver on the brink of disaster sees the moment unfold in suspended clarity. Time is measured, counted, captured down to the smallest fraction. But in the mind it is something else entirely. People speak of time as though it is theirs to command. They manage it, schedule it, divide it into productive portions, planners, alarms, reminders, all crafted in an attempt to seize it, to make it yield. But no one adds a single hour to the day. The sun rises and sets, indifferent to unfinished work, to abandoned plans. Culture shapes the way time is seen. Some believe in strict schedules, where lateness is a fault. Others let time flow, where meetings begin not by the clock, but by arrival. Yet no matter how it is structured, the passage remains the same. The sun moves, the earth turns. History keeps its own measure of time. The fall of empires, the rise of civilizations, the brief flicker of a human life, years, decades, centuries, all recorded, all fading. Before calendars, time moved. After calendars, it will continue. The stars burned before they were named, and will burn long after the names are forgotten. Time does not require measurement to exist. Technology brings precision atomic clocks, GPS satellites, relativity itself accounted for in equations. Humans measure time with astonishing accuracy, yet remain powerless against its passage. The body ages, the seasons shift, the universe expands. Some say time is an illusion, a framework imposed on change. Others call it fundamental, the fabric of existence. If time were to stop, would anything remain? memory distorts time. A day of routine vanishes. A moment of significance lingers. A joyful time flies past. A moment of crisis stretches on. The same clock measures them all, yet the experience shifts, molds itself to emotion and attention. A child feels a year as endless. An elder feels it as a breath. Time is not just measured, it is felt. And so, time carries us forward. It weighs on us in friendships that fade, in voices silenced by distance, in the irreversible movement of life. A conversation with a loved one feels ordinary until time takes the chance away. A childhood friend is frozen in memory until the years reveal their transformation. Time separates, time connects. In the end, it moves with or without us. It does not pause, does not wait. People carve it into hours, into minutes, into seconds. They measure it, but all the while, time measures them. Every atom in the human body has a story, a journey that began long before it became part of a cell. The oxygen in your lungs, the carbon in your muscles, the calcium in your bones, each element was forged in the heart of a dying star. Stars burn for millions, even billions of years. When they reach the end of their life cycle, some collapse, while others explode in brilliant supernovae, scattering their elements across the cosmos. These remnants drift through space, merging into new stars, planets, and, eventually, life itself. This means that every person, every living thing is made of stardust. It is a physical connection between human life and the universe, a reminder that existence is not separate from the cosmos, but born from it. People often think of themselves as distinct from nature. Cities, technology, and progress seem to push further from the raw materials of the earth. And yet, no matter how much the world changes, the body remains a collection of ancient atoms, each one passing through time and space before finding its way into human form. This idea challenges the way we define identity. A person is not just their thoughts, memories, or experiences. They are also matter that existed long before humanity itself. Understanding this changes everything. The body is not static. It is always in motion, always shifting. Cells regenerate constantly, old ones die. New ones take their place. The skin renews itself every few weeks. Bones, while seemingly solid, undergo a slow transformation as old material breaks down and is replaced. Even the brain, the seat of consciousness, is not fixed. It rewires itself, adapts, and reshapes in response to experience. This means that no person remains physically the same for long. The molecules that make up a person today are not the same ones that made them up in childhood. And yet, a sense of self persists. A person remembers their past, even though none of the cells from that time remain. The atoms change, but the continuity of experience stays intact. This paradox of constant change and enduring identity raises questions. If every part of the body is temporary, what makes a person who they are? The mind plays a role. While the body replaces itself, the brain forms pathways that preserve memory and behavior. These pathways are shaped by experience, but also by the physical structure of the neurons, the chemical signals, the electrical impulses. Even so, the brain is not unchanging. It evolves, it grows, it forgets. Identity, then, is not something fixed. It is something built, something that emerges over time. People often resist change, fearing that losing something familiar means losing a part of themselves. But seen through the lens of stardust, change is not an anomaly, it is the natural state of all things. The body has never been static. The self has never been permanent. Everything, from cells to thoughts, exists in a state of motion. This applies not just to biology, but to personal growth as well. Choices shape people, just as cells regenerate. Some changes are small, imperceptible. Others are drastic, altering the course of life in ways unexpected. But all of it is part of the same cycle: the movement of atoms, the reorganization of matter, the continuous renewal of self. The connection between humans and the universe extends beyond the body. The Earth itself was formed from the remnants of dead stars. Every rock, every ocean, every mountain shares the same cosmic origin as the human body. The air we breathe was once part of something else. The water in the oceans has cycled through countless forms: rain, rivers, glaciers, living beings. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything is part of a larger system, constantly exchanging matter and energy. This realization shifts perspective. It is easy to feel small in the face of the universe, the vastness of space, the scale of time, the unknown depths of reality. These things can be overwhelming. But instead of making a person feel insignificant, they can do the opposite. If we are made of the same material as the stars, then we are as much a part of the universe as anything else. We belong not because of what we do, but simply because we exist. This perspective can also shape the way people relate to one another. If everyone is made of stardust, then every person shares a fundamental connection. Differences in background, belief, and experience may shape identity, but beneath it all, the same atoms flow through every human being. This does not erase individuality. Instead, it highlights a common origin, a shared history, written in the fabric of the cosmos. Understanding this can lead to a greater sense of responsibility. People often see themselves as separate from the world around them, but in reality, they are deeply intertwined with it. The choices made today will shape the future, just as the remnants of past stars shape the present. This applies not just on a cosmic scale, but in daily life: the way we treat one another, the way we interact with the environment, the way we think about progress. All of it is connected. For many, this idea brings comfort. The thought that nothing is ever truly lost, that everything is simply transformed, can be reassuring. A person's atoms will continue their journey long after they are gone. They may become part of a tree, a cloud, another living being. The cycle does not end. It only changes form. This does not make loss easier, but it offers a way to see it differently. Nothing disappears completely. Everything continues. Some may question whether this scientific perspective can hold personal meaning. The idea of stardust may sound poetic, but does it change anything practical? In a way, it does. It shifts the focus from seeing life as isolated to seeing it as part of something vast. It challenges the notion of permanence, making change easier to accept. It encourages a deeper appreciation for existence itself. If life is a fleeting arrangement of stardust, then every moment, every experience, every connection matters, not because they last forever, but because they exist at all. This does not mean we should ignore struggles or pretend hardships do not matter. Instead, it suggests a way to frame them differently. Struggles are not signs of failure, they are part of the process of change. They are as natural as the shifting of atoms, the formation of new stars, the renewal of life. No single moment defines a person entirely. Like the stars before them, they will change, they will adapt, and they will leave behind something that carries forward. Stardust does not stay in one place, neither do we. Our journey continues, shaped by the same forces that created the universe itself. What is reality if not merely a reflection of existence? Each morning, as sunlight filters through the curtains, we wake up and step into the world, a reality shaped by our senses. But can we truly be sure that what we see, hear, and feel is real? Imagine, for a moment, a world that exists just beyond our understanding. Our senses, sight, sound, touch guide us through life, yet they can be unreliable. Optical illusions trick our eyes, sounds can be manipulated, and virtual reality can immerse us in experiences that feel real but are not. If our senses can be deceived so easily, how much of what we perceive is actually an illusion? Our brain constructs reality from the signals it receives, shaping a personal version of the world. Colors, for example, do not exist independently, they are a result of how our brain interprets light. The flavors we taste are not just in the food, but a combination of smell, texture, and chemistry. Even time, Something we consider constant can feel different depending on our experiences. Reality is not the same for everyone. Two people may look at the same sunset but see different colors. A person who is deaf experiences the world without sound, yet their reality is just as valid. Philosophers like Plato and Descartes have long questioned whether reality exists beyond our perception or if it is something our minds create. Science fiction often explores these ideas, suggesting that what we perceive as real could be nothing more than an illusion. Some theories even propose that the universe itself might be a vast simulation, raising the question, do we truly understand reality at all? Dreams further blur the line between real and imagined. A dream can feel just as vivid as waking life, and in lucid dreams, we can even control our surroundings. If we can shape our experiences in dreams, could the same be true in waking life? As technology advances, the boundaries of reality shift even more. Augmented reality and deepfake technology challenge our ability to distinguish real from artificial. How much can we trust our senses when digital manipulation is becoming increasingly sophisticated? On a deeper level, quantum mechanics presents an even stranger perspective. At the smallest scales, particles exist in multiple states until observed. Schrödinger's cat, a thought experiment, illustrates how observation itself plays a role in defining reality. If this is true at the quantum level, could our everyday reality also be more fluid than we realize? Different cultures also perceive reality in unique ways. Eastern philosophies often describe life as an illusion, while indigenous beliefs emphasize a deep connection between the physical and spiritual. If reality can vary so much between cultures, is there really one universal truth, or is reality a collection of perspectives? Psychological conditions further complicate our understanding. Hallucinations, schizophrenia, and altered states of consciousness can create entirely different realities for those who experience them. Even memory is unreliable. Two people can remember the same event differently, yet both believe their version is true. If our sense of self is built on memories, and those memories are unstable, what does that mean for our perception of reality? Perhaps reality is not something we discover, but something we create. The language we use shapes our perceptions, influencing what we notice and how we understand the world. Without words for certain colors or emotions, do we even perceive them fully? Time itself is not as fixed as we believe. Some creatures live only in the present, while humans constantly dwell on the past and future. Yet, according to relativity, time flows differently depending on gravity and motion, suggesting that even our experience of time is subjective. So, beneath the surface of existence, could reality itself be an illusion? Or is there a deeper truth waiting to be uncovered? Our perception, memory, culture, and even the laws of physics shape how we experience reality. The more we explore, the more we realize how little we truly understand. As you close your eyes tonight, let your thoughts drift into these mysteries. Reality may still be a puzzle, waiting for us to piece it together one moment at a time. Have you ever pondered the fleeting nature of existence? In the hush of the night, where shadows mingle with the echoes of what once was, a question arises, lingering like a fragrant smoke. What will it mean for you to be remembered? And will it matter at all? This is a tale as old as time, a gentle murmur that invites us to unearth hidden truths, to explore the silent corridors of memory. Imagine, if you will, the moments of a life unfurling each breath an imprint in the fabric of reality. When the last breath is drawn and the light of consciousness dims, it is said that the world continues to spin, unyielding and indifferent. Yet, in those quiet hours that follow, the whispers begin, friends gather, recalling laughter that danced like fireflies on a summer's eve. Family shares stories, their voices entwining memories, wrapping them in warmth. But as days bleed into years, those echoes retreat, softened by the grain of time. Once, a son may have called upon his father's name daily, but soon, It becomes a cadence of holidays, and then, only when a scent wafts through the air or a song stirs slumbering thoughts. And so, the vibrant tapestry of remembrance begins to fade, threads unraveling until, one day, no soul remains who can recall the timbre of a voice or the taste of a favorite breakfast. Some names endure through the ages, those of luminaries, thinkers, dreamers. Their works, like floating lanterns, illuminate the paths of curious souls who turn pages, mulling over words written a century past. Yet, even these esteemed names dissolve over time, becoming mere whispers on the lips of historians, languishing in tomes, while the essence of their lives drifts toward the unknown. Consider, now, the ordinary souls, those who lived quietly, loving their families, laboring honestly, passing away with the subtleness of a fading star. Their lives brush against countless others, like leaves rustling in the wind, yet within a few generations, even the faintest memories begin to dissipate. Grandchildren may hear disjointed tales, but as the years unfurl like petals, the rich details dissolve into whispers behind closed doors, while the photographs gather dust, becoming mere glimpses of the unfamiliar. Diaries, letters, even recordings, they serve as fragile bridges to the past. Yet how easily they may become forgotten. Abandoned to the tides of time, the digital age, promising permanence, often deceives us. Truth be told, files may vanish, formats become obsolete, and the digital footprints we create fade into the ether. Within this ephemeral dance of existence, the gnawing fear of being forgotten takes root in the hearts of many. Some strive to carve their names into the annals of history, crafting legacies through art, literature, and commendable achievements. Others weave personal tales, igniting the embers within their descendants. Few take grander strides, establishing foundations or scholarships. Yet even these hearts' ambitions cannot shield them from the inevitable erosion of time. Memory tends to twine itself through storytelling. A grandmother whispers secrets to a child, warmth blooming in her voice as she shares her own mother's tale. A friend chuckles at a long-lost joke, not realizing that laughter carries the spirit of the past into the present. Habits, too, slip through generations like sprouting seeds, unnoticed yet profoundly influential. Consider then the paradox of remembrance. Some names flicker in the light of infamy, etched into the fabric of our collective consciousness by the weight of their deeds. Yet even they, with their dramatic legacies, dissolve into obscurity, replaced by the succession of new names, each tugging at the threads of historical narratives, now intertwined with fading memories. We inhabit an age of technological marvel, a realm where voices can echo across time, where images can spring forth like specters of a forgotten past. Yet, when faced with a recording, does it truly capture the essence of its subject? A voice devoid of presence, an image without warmth, it may convey words, but cannot replicate the gravity of a soul's entrance into a room, nor the infectious joy of laughter shared in human connection. Yet, we must ask ourselves, what does being remembered truly signify? Beneath the surface of names and legacies lies a deeper truth, a truth that speaks not of the duration of memory, but of the impact left behind. Perhaps it matters not whether a life is recalled for a century or merely a decade. What is significant is the footprint left on the hearts of those who remain. A teacher who inspires a student may fade from memory, yet that spark of encouragement could ignite a lifelong passion. A nurse, offering solace in a moment of despair, may never be graced with remembrance, yet for the one she comforted, her kindness remains forever etched in the soul. Each seemingly insignificant interaction forms a tapestry, a landscape of unseen influences, quietly shaping the world in ways we may never fully grasp. As we reflect upon this journey through memory and existence, we come to recognize the inevitability of every life's final whisper, the moment when a name is last spoken, when an image is viewed for the final time, when curiosity about the past succumbs to the passage of time. This truth is not one to dread, it is simply part of our shared existence. Each fading echo serves as a gentle reminder that all is transient. The cosmos will eventually tire, our sun will extinguish, and all that we have known will be swept away in the march of time. Yet, within this delicate impermanence, the essence of living remains vibrant and real. Love, kindness, and the efforts we weave together in life are not diminished by the inevitability of forgetfulness. They are merely reminders that our journey is about living, not merely being remembered. For in that dance of existence, in the joyous laughter of a child or the quiet reflection of a friend, memory serves not as the measure of a life, but as a celebration of the moments truly lived. In the end, it is the love shared, the connections forged, and the impact made upon one another's hearts that create a legacy far richer than a mere name whispered into the void. And so, dear reader, as you drift into the gentle embrace of your thoughts, let your heart be light, knowing that to live deeply is to leave an unquantifiable mark upon the world, regardless of how long your name may linger in the echoes of time. As dawn unfurls its gentle light, weaving through the curtains like a soft whisper, people rise from the slumbering depths of the night. They stretch and shake off fragments of their dreams, as if sleep were merely a transient veil, something distinct from the true fabric of reality. But dreams, they possess an alluring quality, don't they? In their embrace, everything feels astoundingly real, alive with vivid colors and emotions like an artist's masterpiece. We wander within their realms without questioning their nature, lost in an exquisite labyrinth where the impossible blooms, and the heart quickens with familiar joys and fears. Yet, as the waking world encroaches, the dream's magic begins to dissipate, revealing gaps and peculiarities, like puzzle pieces refusing to fit. What if this is not merely a transition from one state to another, but rather a deepening mystery? If our dreams can so intricately weave tales that ensnare our senses, what whispers might echo within the veil of our waking life? Each night, our minds conjure entire kingdoms from the soft shadows of the subconscious, crafting places and faces that shimmer with authenticity, only to fade upon the gentle sting of daylight. Picture a moment, if you will. A dreamer ambles through a familiar home, where each piece of furniture stands sentinel. Each lamp glows with a warm embrace. But then a moment of dissonance, a picture frame tilts askew. The television lies absent. The awakening snaps like a taut string, revealing that the world was a delicate illusion, spun from the threads of the mind. If this artistry of perception can unfold effortlessly in dreams, why might we presume it to cease its weaving in the daylight's embrace? The trust we place in reality springs from our conditioning gravity, the flowing passage of time, the solidity of consequence. Yet, what if the very architecture of reality is a construct of our minds, as mutable as the ethereal realms we explore while dreaming? What if the stability we cling to is but a fragment of a deeper illusion? Our thoughts smooth over the inconsistencies, fill in the blanks, a comforting act of the mind, thrumming beneath the surface. And yet, in our assumptions, we find ourselves treading water on a river of uncertainty. Consider, for a fleeting moment, a notion that resonates through the ages. René Descartes posed that our senses, those reliable ferrymen of experience, are not to be wholly trusted. He distilled reality to its essence. I think, therefore I am. For in the awareness of thought, stacked on the fragile edifice of reasoning, lies his only certitude. Beyond that stands a hazy landscape, perhaps an illusion of the physical world itself. Today, modern science meanders along this winding path, revealing it to be even more intricate than Descartes could conceive. Quantum mechanics flutters around us, hinting that the behavior of the smallest particles bends and sways in the presence of an observer, suggesting that reality is indeed pliable, shaped by the lens through which we perceive it. If perception shifts in the act of observation, how firm a foundation does our reality truly rest upon? Allow your mind to drift to déjà vu, that fleeting glimpse of the familiar, a moment that feels achingly resonant, though it exists nowhere in the linear timeline of experience. Might it be a glimpse through the veil into a parallel world, a mere flicker that hints at time folding in on itself? revealing that we are perhaps entwined in a tapestry far grander than we comprehend as we navigate lucid dreams, where the dreamer awakens within the dream, grasping the threads of their narrative to mold and shape the landscape around them. We can wonder, what if waking life is simply another layer of dreaming? What happens when we become ensnared in a dream yet fully aware of its nature? The potential for transformation hums beneath the surface, a tantalizing possibility that realization could lead to the gentle nudging of our own reality. There exists another experience known as derealization, where the familiarity of the world softens, revealing an unsettling undercurrent, as though something vital is amiss. It's a sensation akin to teetering on the brink of awakening, poised to pierce through the veil yet unable to step beyond. And what if this, too, is a signal, a beckoning to unravel the illusion that wraps around our existence? Memory, that delicate tapestry of recollections, shifts and sways like a river, ever flowing, for every time a memory stirs, it is restitched, subtly altered, leaving us to ponder the very foundations of what once was. If our memories are not steadfast presence, but instead fluid in nature, then reality itself becomes malleable, a canvas painted with the brushes of time and perception. Trust in the senses falters as optical illusions dance before our eyes, and phantom pains echo from limbs that no longer inhabit this world. The curious realm of technology unfurls challenges once only imagined, as virtual realities envelop our senses in experiences that blur the line between fact and fabrication. If someday we find ourselves nestled within facades so intricate, how shall we discern the whispers of the authentic from the artifice wrapped warmly around us? As twilight deepens and our thoughts unfurl like delicate petals in the moonlight, we find ourselves pondering. The line between dreams and reality is not as stark as once believed. Both realms bathe in the same light of creation. The mind weaves its artistry in the depths of night, and likewise, it continues its gentle tapestry by day. Perhaps the question is not simply whether reality is but a dream, but rather, do we ever truly awaken at all? In the heart of a tranquil forest, beneath the swaying branches painted in hues of emerald and gold, stands a solitary tree. Its roots extend deep into the embrace of the earth, anchoring it against the whispers of the wind and the caress of the rain, seasons melding into a tapestry of life. For years, it has reached skyward, a gentle giant yearning for the warmth of the sun, each leaf a small testament to time. But, as fate would have it, one fateful day, the mighty tree begins its slow descent. Picture the moment when the wood, once so resolute, groans under its own weight. The trunk, rough and worn, cracks an ominous whisper of what is to come. Leaves tremble in a soft rustle, as if they to anticipate the inevitable. And then, with a deep, resonating thud, the great tree meets the ground, sending ripples through the world around it. Yet, ponder for a moment, if the forest remains silent, with no ear nearby to hear this poignant event, does it truly make a sound? This question, lingering in the air like the fading echo of a bell, has danced through the minds of thinkers and dreamers across generations. For some, it is merely a thought experiment, a casual curiosity brushed aside. Yet, for others, it unfolds into a complex tapestry, woven with threads of meaning and mystery. Sound, at its essence, is merely vibrations traversing the air, tender whispers born from one object touching another. When the tree tumbles and hits the earth, waves emerge, rolling outward like gentle ripples upon a placid lake. But should there be no inherent presence to receive these waves, do they transmute into mere movement, lost in the vast expanse of emptiness? This inquiry spirals beyond the innocence of trees. It delves into the very fabric of our shared reality. Consider this: much of our existence is sculpted by what we can see, hear, and feel. Yet, if eyes are closed or ears untrained to listen, does the world fade into a shadow? This thread connects to perception, the silent architect of our experiences, drawing lines between the known and the unknown. Our senses, splendid yet confining, mold the impressions of reality, but, oh, how narrow their reach. What exists beyond the faintest hum of sound, or the slimmest sliver of light? Imagine, if you will, the tumult of a thunderstorm, where lightning cleaves the sky and thunder shakes the ground. You might perceive the low rumble of thunder, a deep resonance that settles into your bones, but nearby, a dog stands alert, its ears tuned to frequencies you cannot fathom, grasping a symphony of sound beyond your own awareness. A bat flits past, capturing echoes shared only with darkness. If each creature weaves its own perception of reality, which version holds the essence of truth? This line of inquiry beckons a larger contemplation of existence itself. How much of reality fully depends upon the act of observation. Some voices from the halls of philosophy whisper that without a conscious mind to engage, reality is rendered void, no sound, no colors, no meaning. Others, however, firmly assert that the physical world dances on, independent of our observations, unfurling its splendor regardless of presence. Woven within the realm of physics lies another layer, a delicate paradox where quantum particles pirouette between existence and absence, their behaviors influenced merely by the gaze of an observer. If this enthralling principle channels through our very universe, what does it sketch about the nature of unobserved things? What echoes lie in wait, hidden from our conscious embrace? And so, we return to our fallen tree, a silent witness to its own demise, vibrations pulsating through the still air, regardless of whether an ear is listening. But does sound truly require a listener to be born? This puzzle ventures deeper, sidling up next to the nuances of human experience. Consider moments lost in the folds of time, an artist toiling in obscurity, perfecting a craft unknown, a writer cloistered in ink and paper, crafting tales never shared, a musician pouring heart into melodies played in empty rooms. In such quiet solitude, do their creations exist if left unacknowledged? These contemplations ripple through the fabric of our longing for connection, our intrinsic desire to be seen, heard, understood. The notion that existence might hinge upon an observer can unsettle even the most steadfast of hearts. Yet, contemplate another perspective. When the tree succumbs and the ground trembles, a transformation stirs the forest, a rebirth of sorts, as life gathers strength from its fallen companion. The impact is undeniable, whether witnessed or forgotten. In this way, the story extends into the realm of humanity itself. Just as the unseen tree fosters new life, so too do our silent struggles, quiet growths, and creative endeavors bear fruit, albeit unnoticed. Every act of perseverance, every spark of innovation, holds value beyond the gaze of an audience. Even history dances with this enigma. Many tales echo through time, their experiences untold, their echoes reverberating in ways unseen. Shall we then dismiss their existence simply because they lack documentation? Technology now fashions a new lens through which we observe the moments of our lives, capturing each breath in a digital snapshot. Yet, does a recorded experience shift its essence? Live performances breathe with a pulse that a static image cannot imitate. Memories, cradled in the heart, transcend the confines of a photograph, whispering stories that elude observation. Finally, picture yourself standing at the forest's gentle heart, the air tender with stillness, the trees standing sentinel above you. In a fragile silence, a song unfolds, the snap of a branch, a tree's gentle surrender, reverberating through the ground. You are there, anchored in that moment, aware of its pulse, its essence. Yet, if the observer were absent, would the trees fall echo differently? Reality drapes itself in this curious inquiry. An event unfolds both with and without the witness, while sound, a whispered experience, yearns for a listener. And as the last vestiges of dusk dance around you, a gentle murmur floats between the trees, a soft hint of understanding shimmering just out of reach, inviting curiosity to linger, enchanting you into a tranquil repose as it beckons for contemplation on the mysteries still left to unfold. What if I told you that the very essence of your being springs from the remnants of ancient stars? Yes, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the very oxygen you breathe, all forged in the fiery crucibles of cosmic explosions eons ago. Picture this: when you gaze into the velvet depths of the night sky, you are not merely an observer, separated by distance and time. Instead, you are a product of those same celestial creations, intricately woven into the fabric of the universe. This isn't poetry merely swaying in the air. It is a silent truth, an echo of physics softly cradling your existence. Imagine a distant supernova, its core succumbing to the inexorable pull of gravity in its final, glorious moments. In that breathtaking instant, it releases into the cosmos a symphony of elements: carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron particles that drift and mingle through time, much like whispers at the edge of awareness. Over the millennia, those very elements have united, forming new stars, planets, and, in their quiet journey, the spark of life itself. Can you feel it? The atoms within your body have embarked on a voyage far older than your history. They may have once danced within the veins of a dinosaur, nestled in the towering branches of an ancient tree, or found a home within another soul, and now they gather within you, creating a universe of their own, a microcosm teeming with approximately 37 trillion cells, each a miniature metropolis bustling with purpose. Here, in this poetic city, atoms and molecules engage in intricate and riveting dialogues, guiding life's wondrous tapestry. Each protein folds into its own unique shape, directing vital biochemical symphonies, while mitochondria, those energy-generating marvels, convert sustenance into the essence that propels you forward. Your DNA, an ancient script, whispers the stories of countless ancestors, a complex yet seamless narrative unfolding without conscious effort. And if we were to delve deeper, to zoom in until we reach the subatomic realm, we would find protons, neutrons, and electrons dancing not as solid objects, but as ephemeral notes in a quantum symphony, appearing and disappearing in a manner both mystifying and enchanting. The very forces that bind galaxies mirror the chemistry of your own being. Electromagnetism sends messages through your nerves, while nuclear forces cradle the atoms comprising your flesh, and gravity, that subtle hand, keeps you grounded while sculpting the dance of entire star systems. Let us ponder the passage of time. With each delicate breath, your body transforms, cells perish and regenerate, skin sheds like autumn leaves, and the food you consume is meticulously reassembled, sculpted anew into vibrant cells. Reflect upon this. Every 7 to 10 years, nearly every atom in your being has been replaced. The shimmering vessel you inhabit now is not the same as the one you walked with a decade past. Yet, amidst this ceaseless ebb and flow, your essence, a ghostly thread of self, remains. What, then, defines you? Is it your memories cascading like a gentle stream through the valleys of your mind, your consciousness swirling in whispers? Or perhaps something deeper still? Consider how your body intimately intertwines with the world. The air you draw in has mingled with the breaths of others throughout history, while the water coursing through your veins has journeyed through ancient rivers and boundless oceans. The very food that nourishes you traces its lineage back to plants and animals, all of which once danced in the sunlight's embrace. Every breath, every heartbeat, every soft footfall connects you to a vast tapestry. You are not merely existing ** in * the universe, but partaking in the universe * living through * you. Your thoughts, emotions, and experiences weave through electrical impulses that dance through your brain, rooted in chemical interactions, reliant upon atomic and subatomic forces. Indeed, in a profound way, the universe is not solely inside your body, but also cradled in the depths of your mind. When you dream, imagine, or create, you wield the very particles and energies that once birthed stars and forged planets. Consciousness itself remains one of life's most beguiling mysteries. Some whispers suggest it arises from the complex interplay of neurons, while others contemplate its link to the fundamental nature of reality itself. And how about the elusive nature of time? A mere construct in the grand design, a dreamlike illusion. Light takes its time, drawing threads between the now and the moments past. When you glimpse the sun, you see it as it was 8 minutes ago, and in the depths of distant stars, you peer back through the corridors of time, thousands, perhaps millions of years. As you lose yourself in thought, remember this: you perceive yourself as a solitary entity, separate and distinct, yet your form continuously weaves a connection to the world around you. With each breath, every morsel of food, you exchange life-giving particles that begin to blur the lines between self and the collective whole. In this intricate dance, you are but a temporary gathering of matter and energy, a momentary whisper in the vastness. Stand back for a moment and explore scale. At one level, you inhabit the role of a human, meandering through life. Zoom out, and you are a part of society, a species swaying gently upon the planet's surface. Push further still, and Earth becomes but a fleeting mote orbiting an average star amidst the grandeur of the Milky Way. Zoom in, however, and you traverse into the realm of cells, molecules, and atoms, each entity with its own delicate rhythm, the same universe that stretches across eternity residing within you at this very moment. But even beyond your comprehension, the nature of existence itself. Your brain, that marvelous construct, evolved to perceive patterns, to decipher problems, to navigate this world. The way you experience the symphony of color, sound, and space is just a glimpse of the endless adaptations carved into the very fabric of time. Yet, shadows linger just beyond frequencies uncharted and dimensions unseen, revealing that what you call reality is but a shimmer of a greater existence. In a wondrous cascade of interconnectedness, nothing exists in isolation. A star that exploded billions of years ago birthed the atoms that now rest within you. The whispers of life, like ripples across a pond, resonate in ways you cannot begin to comprehend. As you ponder your identity, know this: you are not merely a solitary vessel traversing time. You are a thread woven into the expanse of a vast, ancient, and ever-evolving cosmos. Your body, your mind, and the universe are not separate. They express the same essential truth. When you cast your gaze upon the twinkling stars, you behold a reflection of yourself, scattered across the tapestry of space and time. The universe is not an echo dormant around you. The universe is alive, pulsing rhythmically within you, cradling secrets yet to be unraveled. Let this truth settle like the gentle dusk, soft, serene, whispering of mysteries that cradle you, inviting your curiosity to linger in the vastness of your own existence. Have you ever found yourself in an ordinary moment, perhaps stepping through the threshold of a quaint cafe or sharing secrets with an old friend, only to feel an unsettling whisper curling at the edges of your awareness? It's a fleeting sensation, a tickle on the back of your mind, as though this very experience had unfurled itself before you like a forgotten page from a dusty book, an echo of a life you've yet to live. Just for an instant, time slips, and you find yourself suspended in the shimmering haze of a memory that isn't quite yours, suffused with an elusive familiarity that thrives in the shadows of your mind. It lasts but a brief sigh, yet it curiously lingers, inviting you to ponder the nature of time itself. For centuries, philosophers, scientists, and poets have pondered this familiar yet elusive phenomenon of this déjà vu, a riddle wrapped in whispers. Some suggest it is a mere misstep of the mind, a glitch in the intricate machinery of memory. When our senses brush against an experience, our brain, that ever-watchful archivist, attempts to document it, cataloging fragments of reality into the vast library of our consciousness. Occasionally, though, a subroutine stumbles, and the entry misfiles itself as an echo from yesterday instead of today. You see, memory, that delicate construct, is not a flawless videotape, but a living tapestry, woven anew each time we summon it forth. In this tapestry, threads can fray, colors can run, and our minds may weave moments from the flickers of yesterday, the fabric of today. Perhaps in those instances of déjà vu, our brains momentarily pluck at threads from a past life, an old memory that dances just beyond our grasp, tricks of the light, illusions that beg us to pause in wonder. Yet, let us venture further into the labyrinth, where the understanding becomes both mesmerizing and murky. Some neuroscientists suggest that the duality of our hemispheres may dance a strange choreography, where one side of the brain processes the music of a moment just a heartbeat faster than the other, creating a fleeting echo, a reverberation that lingers softly in our perception. Imagine standing on the ledge of time, feeling the brush of two realities colliding in the tiniest of fractions, just enough to beckon forth that familiar chill. In this delicate space, where the conscious and subconscious flirt with each other, we sometimes pick up on sightings unseen, a waft of familiar scent, the silhouette of an arrangement that feels like home, a cozy nook of light filtered through the window. All the while, our awareness whispers, "Yes, you've walked here before," even when our conscious self remains blissfully unaware, a connection recognized yet unanchored. And perhaps, in our dreams, we've encountered these moments, gateways to vivid tales that blur the line between waking and slumber. A whisper of a conversation or a silhouette of a place, borrowed from the depths of night, might resurface in the quietude of day, breathing life into echoes long forgotten. Could it be that dreams mingle with memories in a subtle, enigmatic dance, crafting illusions of recognition that sway just out of reach? Beyond the tangible, there lingers a whisper of the ethereal. Some notion beckons us towards the nature of realities themselves, the idea that we might exist not as singular beings, but as fractals of possibility, each decision branching off into parallel dimensions, our lives unfurling in kaleidoscopic splendor. In that instant of déjà vu, could it be that we are, for just a heartbeat, tapping into an experience lived by another version of ourselves in a different weave of existence? Softly we delve deeper, stirring the contemplative waters of quantum mechanics, where every choice creates a divergence in the fabric of the cosmos. Might that familiar sensation be a glimpse into an alternate life, a moment where the veil between our realities thins and we catch sight of who we are meant to become, or perhaps already are? And still, the mystery unfolds, revealing threads of time, loops bending back upon themselves, suggesting that moments may flicker, unfold, echoing in ways we scarcely understand. What if déjà vu is not a mere memory glitch, but a gentle reminder that time, a river of flowing moments, is far more intricate than our linear perceptions allow? In the rich tapestry of human experience, some among us whisper of past lives. They believe these déjà vu moments echo remnants of ancient memories that call softly to the surface. A gentle nudge from the past, a fleeting caress of formerly lived experiences brushing against the present, resonating in the chambers of the soul. But perhaps, at its core, déjà vu is a message from the depths of our being, a moment when the conscious and subconscious minds align, unearthing something significant yet ineffable. It invites us to remember that amidst the whispers of confusion and familiarity, our minds are a maze of complexity, fluid, elusive, and endlessly fascinating. In the end, we are left with the shimmering echo of these encounters, the tantalizing pull of familiarity that drifts like a feather on a gentle breeze. Each experience, though momentary and ephemeral, stirs within us questions that ripple out, lingering on the surface of our consciousness, ever begging for exploration, as if unveiling that the mysteries of existence are far deeper than they first appear, lingering like a whispered secret just waiting to be uncovered.